Hello guys, how are you? Hope you are always fine. In this video, we will discuss a storyline from a movie called Jurassic Hunt. This film tells the story of several soldiers who take part in a hunting game where they will hunt genetically engineered dinosaurs in a nature reserve. Are they successful in the hunt, and can they get out of that place? Before we watch the complete storyline, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button, also the bell button, so you don't miss the next video. The film begins with a scene of several people hunting dinosaurs in a nature reserve. They used humans as bait, and when a raptor came, they immediately attacked it. After the dinosaurs fell, they took the dinosaur's teeth as a memento. Not long after, another familiar dinosaur sound was heard, which is not other than the voice of the T-Rex. Hearing the voice, they immediately ran away from the place. The scene continues by showing a group of soldiers who are taken to a nature reserve where the dinosaur hunts are. They entered the place with their heads covered, considering it was a secret hunt. The owner of a place, Lyndon, explained about the game they are going to play. Previously they were checked, and one of them was found carrying a cell phone. Feeling his cell phone was private property, the man was annoyed and tried to fight back. Then, Lyndon told them to choose the weapon that they will use for hunting. A female hunter, named Parker, asked Lyndon for a stun gun. After that they got tracker in their hands and then ate dinner, which was delicious grilled raptor meat. During dinner, one of the hunters named Zeej tried to tempt Parker, but his efforts were stopped by another hunter named Valentine. Later at night, Parker was seen in a tent, and apparently she was a spy who wanted to reveal the truth about dinosaur hunting in that place through her recording glasses. Meanwhile, the man who had refused to have his cell phone taken was taken by Lyndon and his team to the middle of the forest and left alone there, where suddenly a raptor appeared. The leader of the group, Marco, gets a call from a frightened rabbit. He went to him and met a raptor. Immediately he tried to attack the raptor, and the incident caused a commotion and screams. The other hunters heard the scream coming out of the tent and tried to fight the raptor even with rocket launchers and stun guns. The next day, they learned that 5 of them had died and that one raptor had been stunned. The hunters told Parker to shoot the raptor, but Parker refused and eventually one of them shot the drugged raptor. Elsewhere, Lyndon suspected Parker of being a spy, and he ordered his men to look for more detailed information about Parker. Meanwhile, the hunters were trying to make their way towards the exit that Lyndon had been told about. It was late afternoon and they were still walking when suddenly one of them got spitted. It turned out that the Dilophosaurus who was spitting out the vomit earlier was around them. One of them, named Blackhawk, threw a grenade and nearly injured them. Parker, who didn't like it, lashed out at Blackhawk. Finally they arrived at their first post, where they got weapons and food supplies to survive. In that place they also told each other about why they follow the game. Blackhawk continues to ramble and say that he was an army commander and was willing to sacrifice his friends to complete the mission. When everyone was annoyed with Blackhawk, suddenly a pterodactyl appeared that caught Blackhawk, but when it flew, the pterodactyl and Blackhawk exploded because of the grenade it was carrying. After the incident, they decided to split up. While Lyndon already knew that Parker was a spy, ordered one of his employees named Rabbit to eliminate him with the offer of double his salary. Rabbit agreed to the deal. After splitting up, 2 hunters accidentally spotted a herbivorous dinosaur and immediately shot it. However, suddenly a sound was heard and a raptor appeared that attacked them both to death. Elsewhere, Zeej, who was also a psychopath, tried to rape Parker but was again prevented by Valentine. Valentine also asked Parker to use firearms against the dinosaurs. At that time Rabbit appeared and claimed to be a hunter who was abandoned by his group. Rabbit brought the green liquid which he gave to Parker, but for some reason he spilled the liquid on Parker's clothes and after that ran away. It turned out that the liquid was dinosaur fishing fluid, and sure enough, a T-Rex appeared and one of the hunters tried to deal with it alone but was crushed to death by the T-Rex. Elsewhere, Lyndon, who was watching the scene, knew that the hunters were already overwhelmed. Knowing that they were being watched, Parker and her fellow hunters tried to get the tracker out of their hands. After that they planned to go to the second post. Lyndon, who lost track of the tracker being discarded, uses a drone to locate the hunter. When finding their location, Lyndon decided not to provide food supplies at the second post so that the hunters starved and died. Parker advised them not to go to the second post, but to find Rabbit's hiding place, which was certainly safer. They also realized that Lyndon was using drones to track them, and Zeej ended up disabling Lyndon's drone. After walking for quite a while, they finally found Rabbit's hideout, which was surrounded by traps and explosives. They also caught Rabbit and told him to call and tell Lyndon that he managed to kill the hunters. Lyndon also believed and said if he would pick up Rabbit tomorrow at the second post. They then tied Rabbit and spent the night there. At that time they told each other their respective backgrounds, where they were soldiers who had fought for America. The next morning, Rabbit untied himself and sprayed dinosaur fishing fluid on the hunters. They woke up and suddenly a dinosaur appeared to attack, and they tried to fight back. Seeing Rabbit running away, Zeej tried to chase and shoot the rabbit with his arrows. Unfortunately, Zeej lost track of the rabbit. Meanwhile, Valentine, who was seriously injured by a dinosaur attack, was helped by Parker until his wound was closed. Zeej, who was chasing Rabbit, was attacked by a group of small dinosaurs, but while driving the small dinosaurs, suddenly a raptor appeared and attacked him to death. Parker and Valentine, who had arrived at the second post, met Lyndon, who was apparently waiting there. Lyndon immediately took Parker's glasses and smashed them. He also intimidates Parker and Valentine, but the clever Parker tried to attract the attention of the flying pterodactyl with the silver necklace Zeej gave her. The flying dinosaur finally attacked Lyndon's men, and they finally managed to get into the car. Lyndon himself fled into the forest and asked his men for help. He also ordered to kill anyone in the forest except himself. Parker and Valentine, who were in the car, were not able to drive the vehicle. Meanwhile, Lyndon's men had arrived, and when they encountered Rabbit, who was trying to escape, they immediately shot him dead. Lyndon's men immediately looked for Parker and Valentine and Lyndon in the forest. Parker and Valentine, who were walking, accidentally bumped into Lyndon's men, but luckily they managed to hide. Later, Lyndon's men found a backpack hanging from a tree, and when it was pulled out, it oozed liquid that splashed over them. After a few moments, they also found Lyndon, and he realized that his men had been exposed to dinosaur fishing fluid. Suddenly raptors and other dinosaurs appeared around them. Lyndon's men tried to fight back, but none of them survived. Lyndon himself was trying to escape from the herd of dinosaurs. The raptors also chased Valentine and Parker, but Valentine, who was a true soldier at heart, was willing to face the raptors alone and told Parker to leave the place. Valentine continued to shoot and fight the raptors who came by himself. Parker finally arrived at the exit, but she could not open the door. When suddenly Lyndon came and intimidated her. Despite carrying a gun, Parker didn't dare shoot Lyndon. They finally made a deal wherein Lyndon would give him the keys if Parker gave him the gun. Parker agreed, but it turns out that Lyndon tricked him by giving him the wrong key. After holding the gun, Lyndon was planning to shoot Parker, but before shooting, two raptors came. Seeing Lyndon unaware, Parker immediately attacked Lyndon and got the key to open the exit. Parker immediately opened the door and left the gun for Lyndon. Lyndon, who was behind Parker, did not have time to save himself and was attacked by a raptor to death. Parker managed to get out of the place and found a car. Then Valentine, who was not yet dead, got into the car. They both finally drive the car and return to their normal life. And the movie ends. The film is quite interesting, especially if you are a fan of dinosaurs. So, that was all the storyline, and don't forget to like, subscribe, press the bell button and share with your friends too. See you on the next video.